Hello, this is Nate. This is the Daihon Nashi Eikaiwa Lesson Podcast, and today is going to be an English-only episode. I'm really excited to be back and doing these English-only episodes, but first, for announcements, as always, please follow us on social media. That means Twitter. Twitter is where we do the Daihon Nashi hashtag, right? So it's hashtag Daihon Nashi Eikaiwa Lesson. And you can comment about the recent episode, or you can ask a question. Just use that hashtag whenever you want to talk about the topics we are talking about on the podcast. Also, there is Facebook, and that is going to be mostly English because, well, it's going to be all English because it's just me doing that Facebook for the Daihon Nashi podcast. Also, Sota and I have our own Instagrams, and Sota has his own YouTube. So follow us on Instagram and check out Sota's YouTube videos. I think he recently has a new video, so check that out. Alright, so let's get started with this episode. Okay, so what's the topic for today? It is, I'm freezing. Yeah, I feel like I did this topic before because I'm always freezing. And probably last year, like, I talked about it, I'm sure. But I just want to talk about, like, the words that we use for being cold or being, what I said, freezing, right? So that's what I'm going to talk about today. And I think it's going to be pretty easy, so you can follow along. This is a kind of warm-up to get used to the English-only episodes again. Let's start with the word freezing, right? Freeze, freezing. I'm freezing. It's freezing, right? So we use this word as a kind of adjective. So I am freezing, right? So the human body, your body, is it actually freezing? So for example, if it's actually freezing, then it should be like a popsicle, right? Like your body should be like ice, but it's not true. It's not actually it's not actually frozen, right? So we use the word freeze or frozen for food, right? So like frozen food or something like that. Of course, like ice, that's frozen water, right? But people, we don't actually freeze, but we say the word I'm freezing when we're really, really cold, right? So, I don't know, like last night, it was so cold that I just felt like this word freezing, like my feet are freezing, my hands are freezing, basically my whole body is freezing. So I was freaking out last night. I couldn't even fall asleep because I was so cold. That's kind of why I want to talk about this topic today. Okay. Another word I like to use is numb. Numb. Okay. What does this word have to do with being cold or something like that? Well, the word numb, it's N-U-M-B. N-U-M-B. Numb is when you don't have any feeling in part of your body. In my case, it's usually my toes and my fingers when it comes to being cold. So when it's cold out and, you're walking and you have like a thick jacket on, you got shoes, you got pants, you got everything, but your hands are like outside, right? And so if it's cold and windy, that cold and wind is just hitting your fingers, and eventually you can't feel your fingers or your hands anymore. So that means it's so cold that your hands get numb, right? So you don't talk about this like in general, like it's not like, oh, I'm freezing, oh, I'm numb. No, it's not like that. But part of your body can be numb because it's really cold, right? So for example, like I was walking outside last night and my fingers were numb, right? So we just use it in that case where your hands or your feet or maybe your face, right? Your face is so cold that it feels like you can't feel it. We also use the word numb, like when you, for example, go to the doctor, or no, actually, usually it's the dentist, and they're, for example, drilling on your tooth. So, like your tooth, you have a cavity. And what happens? Well, it hurts, right? And so what they do is they give you some kind of like a shot, an injection into your gums, and then your gum, so part of your mouth, becomes numb. So same word, numb. It just means you can't feel it. So this word, numb, is usually used in that kind of situation, but you can also use it when your body is so cold that you can't feel it. Another example would be, I used to go surfing and bodyboarding in my hometown, but the water was really, really cold. So your feet would always get numb. And what happens is, for the first, minute or 2 minutes, your feet are hurting and, you feel a lot of pain. But after they get numb, they don't hurt as much, right? So if you're surfing in the cold water, you know that your hands and your feet get numb after you're in the water for, 5 minutes or something like that. And one thing to be careful, numb, it's spelled N-U-M-B, numb. So the B is silent. We don't say numb, we just say numb. For example, dumb. It means like stupid. It's the same sound. Numb, dumb. Okay, just a quick thing about pronunciation. How about another word that's kind of related to winter? Hibernate. Hibernate, right? H-I-B-E-R-N-A-T. Hibernate. What does that mean? Well, I think we actually talked about this on a podcast just recently because it was so cold. And I can't remember if I said this or Sota said it, but the word hibernate, it means when, like, the animal, for example, bear, or could be some other type of mammals, so like, not monkeys, but the animal that drinks milk and it's like has hair, so it's similar to, it is a human, but humans don't actually hibernate. But we feel like we hibernate. What it is during the winter, we hide out in somewhere and just hide there and stay in the warm area until the winter finishes. A good example would be bears. Yeah, bears. So bears hibernate. What bears do is during the summer, they go into a kind of cave and they just kind of like sleep for a long time. Sleeping for a long time would be hibernating. So when can we use this as humans? Because if people, we don't actually hibernate. So it's just kind of as a joke, right? So we don't actually say, I'm hibernating, like really serious, but just as a joke, like what are you doing today? Or how do you feel? Like, the weather's so cold, right? Oh man, I just want to hibernate inside my house. I wish I were a bear or something. I could just stay under my covers, right? Or I want to hibernate under my covers or in my bed all day or something like that. So hibernate is a verb. So I want to hibernate all day in my house or in my bed. And the noun would be hibernation, right? So anyways, that's just a kind of funny word you can use to talk about you don't want to go outside because it's too cold. You just want to stay in the warm room or warm area. The last two ones I want to mention were chilly and icy, right? Chilly you can use when it's kind of cold. It's a little cold. We say it's a little chilly or it's chilly outside. It sounds like the word chili as in chili pepper. So that would be a different spelling, right? So chili, right? Actually, no, it's the same pronunciation. So for example, the pepper, chili pepper, that's C-H-I-L-I, right? But chili, like the kind of cold, is C-H-I-L-L-Y, right? This is a good way to explain my hometown during the winter. It's chilly. It's not freezing, Well, at nighttime, maybe it's freezing. But during the daytime, no, it's usually just a little chilly. It means a little cold. Not too cold, but you feel like if you go outside with a t-shirt, you're kind of cold, right? So even during the daytime, in my hometown, it's not freezing. It's not like 0 degrees Celsius, but I don't know, it could be around 10 degrees or 15 degrees or something like that. So I think we would say that's chilly. In Japan, I would say it's beyond chilly. So way more than chilly in the winter. Chilly would be, I don't know, like autumn for me. So in the fall. And the last one I wanted to say was icy, right? Icy, you can imagine, icy. How do we use this in kind of the wintertime situation? Probably the street or the sidewalk is icy. Or it could be your car or your car's window or something like that, where you wake up in the morning and your car has some ice on it, so it's icy windshield, and so you have to clean off the ice from the windshield. So, but in the general situation, when you're just like walking on the sidewalk and it's really cold, if the sidewalk is icy, then you have to watch your step. That means you have to be careful when you're walking. Icy roads are really scary. I think, for example, my mom, she lives in Minnesota where it's really cold and it's snowing all the time. I think they have to be very careful about the icy roads. They put either salt on the road or something else to make it so it's not icy or it's not slippery. So yeah, another word that kind of comes hand in hand with icy is slippery, right? So you've seen the video in the wintertime when people are walking and they slip on the ice, right? Okay, so those are just a couple words I wanted to go over. In general, like, I hate the cold. The reason I hate the cold is because, like, whenever I go outside in the wintertime, my hands and my feet just can't warm up. Whatever I do, they can't warm up. They're always cold. Even if I'm, like, wearing gloves or something like that, I have to wear, like, I don't know what kind of gloves I need to wear, but they need to be really strong. No matter what, in the wintertime, my hands are always freezing. So, yeah. So, as a review for today, just remember, it's freezing outside today. I don't want to go outside without gloves or my hands will get numb. Or I just want to stay inside and hibernate and just pretend like I'm a bear or something. And it's a little chilly outside today, so I guess I'll wear a sweatshirt. And the roads are a little icy today, so be careful when you're driving, right? So those are just a couple vocabulary words that we checked today. How about you guys? Where are you from, and is it freezing? Is it just a little chilly? Do you have icy roads? And how about like yourself when it's cold? Like, do you get cold easily, or are you like a warm person? I think there's like two types of people in this world. Either they get cold really easily and they wear a huge jacket, or they're just like wearing like a t-shirt in the winter and they're just okay with that. In my opinion, it's like very extreme. It's either hot people who I guess their blood is really hot or something, and cold people like me who just can't warm up in the winter time. Anyways, I'm curious, which one are you? Are you a cold person, or are you always warm? Anyways, that was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this all English podcast. It's great to get back and talking all English with you guys. It's really fun, actually, just talking with myself and imagining you guys listening, and hopefully I can get some comments from you guys about the topics that I talk about for the all English episode as well. Great, guys. So thanks for listening. Remember to follow us on social media. So 台本なし英会話レッスン hashtag. And of course, that's on Twitter and on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. That was fun. I'm not excited about the cold weather, but I think I can get used to it. Basically, I just need to wear heat tech everywhere I go. Alright guys, have a good week. Bye bye.